What's up, everybody? I'm Joe Longo. This is 30 Days of Inspiration. Thank you for watching. And I'm surprise, surprise, back in the Wissahickon. And I'm with one of my bestest, and old friend. Very old friend. Not that we're
No,
old.
it's defying physics. We're
Yes,
not old.
We're not old.
But we've been friends for lifetimes.
Yes. Big lifetime. So this is Kate Brenton. And Kate's great. So Kate and I go back before this yoga world.
Before yoga.
Before yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have hair then either.
No.
Some people I've talked to, I had hair. That's how far back we go.
That's nice.
Today's episode. But not today, because you're not saying this today. But back, like 99?
Yeah, the blizzard. January 99.
January 99.
Is that true? 99. I think so.
I moved in 98.
99.
So probably the next,
It was 99.
the next year. On Kingsley Street.
In the Yonk.
In the Yonk, yep, in the
Mhm.
19128. And she was my neighbor. And we just became friends. And at the time, Amy was in the yoga.
She brought us all over that bridge. Or I could say for myself.
Well, totally.
Amy
Yeah.
walked me right over that bridge, right down the street to Yoga on Main. That was it.
But there was the time, I'll never forget, Amy said, so we're talking about Amy Angelo, you can
Check
find
her out,
there. She's an old friend as
Yes.
well. She was doing teacher training at Yoga on Main, and Kate and I would sit on our front porch and smoke cigarettes and be like, Amy's fucking crazy. Like, what?
That's really true.
What is she doing?
So
Amy's
true.
crazy.
Do you remember when she'd eat the kitchery? I'm like, I am not eating that.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that.
Right.
I eat that. I eat that all the time now. Well, I was like, oh God. Yeah.
But it was probably like Amy did her teacher training and finished, and Kate started going to yoga, and I had gone. I didn't enjoy it, and then I found the Kundalini there. But then it wasn't long after Kate was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that teacher
It's
training.
so true. I got Shiva Das.
Yeah.
Shiva Das came up to me and was like, Kate, I really see you in the teacher training. And I was like, there's no way. I'm not doing that. And I had become a high school teacher that year.
Yeah.
The year I started teacher training was my first year as a high school teacher at Cheltenham High School. And thank God. He was so right. I think that got me through my first year.
Mm-hmm.
I actually taught on top of desks like this, and I had a kid come up to me and say, do you do yoga? And I said, oh no, he said, do you meditate? And I said, why? You know, because you don't want to give them too much information.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you asking me that? He said, do you sit like my grandfather sits, and my grandfather meditates? I was like, oh. It's like all the world's coming together.
Yes.
Okay,
And at that same time, when Kate decided to do her training, I also drank the Kool-Aid and did my first training at Dhyana Yoga in the city.
That's right, Dhyana Yoga in the city.
Yeah, because then we would practice. We went
to Kundalini class on Monday nights.
But we were also practicing teaching each other.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, that's totally true. That is true.
It's
Wow,
the
this
truth.
is like jostling the memory.
Yeah, and then we were sucked in. So Amy totally did walk us across the bridge.
Yep.
Even though when Amy was walking across the bridge, you're like, she's fucking crazy.
She's crazy.
She is crazy.
Yeah.
But thank God that it brought us to this.
No, for sure.
Space.
Changed my life in such a great way.
Right?
Yeah.
So I never know how to, and we've talked about this
yeah.
before, how to really say what you are, what you do. So I like to say Kate's a healer because she heals people. She healed my shoulder. It didn't work one day, not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, because I had to take a month break. And I'm like, Kate, I can't move my arm. I can't move it at all. And I saw her twice. And then I saw my actual doctor. And the doctor was like, your friend did a great job. Because I'm able to move my arm again.
You know what was really cool about that, actually, since you're bringing it up, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that when you went to the doctor, she was like, oh, your friend, that would be me, saved you from just getting shots. Like,
Yes.
we would have just bombarded you with shots to de-inflame you instead of like just doing some simple postures to help that happen.
And we'll say simple postures, but I screamed. Wow! Ouch! But it was great. Like, I had to go through the pain to get this movement back.
Okay,
because
let's
this
get
wasn't
this out. Because
happening.
so many people are like, I love what you do, but it hurts. And they look at me like it's my fault. And I'm like, listen, if something is out, it has to go back in. And to go
Right.
back in, you can't just like you know, for some things you have to like kind of help them go back in, but you'd rather have them helped go back in than be out and then people are like, oh, my arm just, I have had people that are like, oh, my arm will never do that again, or I have a bad shoulder, and I'm like, don't call things bad. Like if you saw you've heard me say this, like if I'm out and I'm like, this is my bad boyfriend, you'd be like, why are you dating him, you know? So like, don't talk about your body like it's bad. It's doing the best that it can. So I'll sit with the word healer. It's definitely coming up. I mean, or the practice. I practice healing. You know, I'm a Lomilomi practitioner by definition.
By definition.
Which doesn't do much on the East Coast. People are like, what did she just say?
Right. Exactly. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
She'll be all linked around here.
I'll be the linked. Yeah.
So Kate does that. She heals people. She massages people.
Yep.
And it's therapy, not only for the body, but for the mind as well, I think.
Well, I think just like anyone would say, yoga is not just a physical asana. Like if you're just doing physical asana, that's great. Your body's going to feel good. And a lot of people go to yoga to get that going. But like Lomi also has that aspect of like, okay, you feel better, but you have to kind of address the mind and the spirit. Lomi's first attentive to spirit. It's a Hawaiian philosophy that if there's something hurt in the body, it's like a child crying in the night and it wants to be brought back together. So if you just attend to the screaming, then you're not figuring out why does the child need to be brought back. So if you look at the whole body and the mind and the spirit, then everybody might come. That's a pretty good definition of what I do. So that for some people that can mean like really physical, and for some people that can mean, you know, oil massage. It's just totally, it depends on what you need to do. So that's.
And I think over the years you've come to really understand the person that walks in your door.
Thank you.
Like, you know, because there was a time when I would walk in the door and be like, oh, we're going to do this nice oil massage. And that doesn't happen anymore. It really doesn't. But what does happen is great, but it's just different. Now it's like, oh no, now we need to like twist and crack and do all of the things because you're holding on to too much shit and you need to let it go.
That is, it's like they're why you can go get a massage that's going to go like this and feel better. That's fine. And I've had clients that are like, well, I went to like go get this. There's a lot of good other therapeutic practitioners. But if you just want to go, it's like dusting a room and all the dust flies up and then it lands back down. So, I mean, it's all what you want. Yeah.
So it's a massage, but you're really working on yourself.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
That's
Kate is also a new mom. She is. Has also been awesome watching. Again, well, you know, going way back, Kate is like a sister.
Yeah.
So like seeing...
Oh my God! Yeah, because I was a dog mom. There's always been a dog, right?
That's really. I don't know if you can see Nui, but Nui's down here.
Nui's here. And I was a self-proclaimed dog mom. You know, that was it. That was the journey. That's what we were doing. And then at 41, I got pregnant. And the funny part of that is at 40, on my 40th birthday, I was like, "Okay, I'm definitely not going to be a mother in this life. You know, and that's okay. And I'm just going to have a clinic, and I'm going to do Lomi and hear the dog bark." That's not what happened. I was pregnant 6 months later.
The universe.
I know, and he's so great.
As it's fun. He is great. He's here. He's out walking around by himself.
He's got a friend, and he's only 8 months, but he's got his own social calendar.
He knows the park.
He's great. He comes here. He came here in utero. He comes here a couple times a week. Some people think I live near Wissahickon because I'm always Instagramming to Wissahickon. Should I stop talking?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
But that's the other thing. Maybe we could talk about that, the new mom thing, a little bit. Was that interesting?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
A little bit, because...
So let's take a moment.
Okay.
And I'll just stop it because we're about at 10 minutes. And then I'll know where we can... New mom. So Kate's a new mom.
I'm a new mom. That's a big deal. You know, like, that's a bigger deal culturally than anyone wants to talk about. And that's kind of one of my big, like, pushes now. Because people are like, oh, you know, you're, like, basically... Okay, do you know what happens? When I'm out and I'm holding my child... I was at a farmer's market, and I was grabbing a monkey bread, you know, that really, like, decadent. This woman goes... How are you going to let yourself eat that and stay that thin, Mom? And I'm like, you just said that to me in public. So I'm like in this whole new realm of like how people talk to moms when no one's like listening is really amazing.
So to touch on that, moms probably get it just as much as artists get it.
Really?
Oh my God, people say the craziest stuff to artists in a way of like getting free work. or asking for things where it's like
positioning it in a way that's like crazy because you're an artist. I can say it, but I wouldn't say it to a lawyer like that.
Yeah, or I wouldn't even say it to a plumber. Like, you would never ask your plumber to come unclog my drain, and I'm going to tell all my friends about it on Facebook, and you're going to get that so much. I have so many people follow me on Facebook that everyone's going to call you to clean their drains.
Well, I get that too off of like, I'm hurt, and you know, that's a balance. It's a balance when you do like a service craft, and it's good to have a place where you can be accessible to anyone. That's important. But people don't seem to have that relationship to conversation and worth of the other anymore. Like, it just comes out like, I want this, so you should do it, or how come you get to eat monkey bread? Like, why are you even asking me that? You know what I mean? Like, why does that bother you?
Right.
So there's that. There's the whole, like, I feel lucky that you know, my clients were kind of like, I didn't think you were going to have it. Like, some of them were a little like, what happened? I'm like, life happened, actually. I wasn't disingenuous. Life happened. He came, his name's Aaron, he's fantastic. And he has revamped. But because I had so much life before that, we're kind of having a different journey where, you know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to see clients again, and we're having like a balance. But a lot of people were, or I'll just say, a few people said, were like, oh, you know, you're back. And I'm like, there is no back. There's no back. Once the universe goes into your body and pushes everything to create a human that comes out, whether they come out, and I'll say a 3-year vagina or a C-section, which is the other thing people say to me, you had a C-section? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't go back. Like the rest of our world is just like, oh, you had a kid, so now you're back. And it's like, no, I'm still creating this human. I'm breastfeeding, I'm caring for them, and your body takes like a whole year to actually completely go back. The hormones and all that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely passionate about that because I feel like I want to use how people know me as a body practitioner to tell every woman there's no back. So it doesn't mean you should be doing anything different than what you're doing, but don't go on anybody else's barometer of like what back is, you know what I mean?
Right,
depending on your birth. And then, can I tell, I don't know if you guys really want, yeah, I'm gonna, because I already said, can I tell you?
Yeah, so you have to now.
So I'm gonna give a plug to Jade Groff. I was talking to her because she's doing pelvic floor work, you know? And like, do you know that like 80% of women after having a child have difficulty down in their reproductive area or their feeling tone? I know this is uncomfortable, but forget it. Because there's this idea that like, you just have a kid, the kid pops out, 6 weeks, you go back to work, everything's fine, and then you have all these women walking around with like discomfort or low energy, but they think they're the only one, and so no one talks about it. So that's something that I really want to use. When I was studying Lomi in Hawaii, our clinic, Uncle Alva, who was my teacher, he said that every child is our responsibility. So when a pregnant woman would come, she was worked on in a different way, small, and I see that now because if you can help that child and that woman for those 9 months and like the first year after, you're literally creating a better world. You're literally creating a better world. But everyone's pushing like women to be like ready and done, and if you're not, then you're not performing, and the body will say, okay, well, you're not listening to me, so I'll just push it down, and then in 20 years when you have menopause, I'll tell you what I think about how you've treated me. I feel really passionate about this.
No need to apologize.
So that's part of the new work I'm going to start doing is mom sessions. So Erin's off with Delilah, amazing. She doesn't have a link, but to help moms get like just a little bit of care. You know, that's how my world is coming together. That's what's inspiring me because it's hard. You know, you love this little person and you're so excited, but you don't sleep. It's hard to be nice when you don't sleep, you know? It's just, these are basic things that everyone goes, oh yeah. But I think in the yoga world, you hear so much like, think about what the other person is doing. And we think about it in like spiritual terms or financial terms or emotional terms, but you don't look at someone that's creating a person. And people are like, why don't you say baby? I'm like, because it's a person. If I say baby, you're like, oh, he's cute and he doesn't really know what's going on. He knows everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's my spiel about that.
So Kate is a very passionate mom, all about the ladies, if you couldn't tell. And this is one of the many reasons why I love Kate, because she is so fiery. It's great. Yeah. So you just had. Do we call it a benefit? What do we call it?
I think we could call it a benefit.
So Kate spent a lot of time in Hawaii.
Yeah, I know. I lived there for it was like 6.5 years on Kauai. Go ahead.
And found Lomi. Lomi found you.
Lomi found me, for sure.
And so you've been back, and there's been crazy stuff with the planet and Mother Earth happening.
Wow. Everyone wants to talk about the lava, which is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Before the lava hit, there was a huge flood on Kauai, and Kauai is really wet. So people are like, oh, it's Hawaii. I'm like, no, there's individual universes, and every island is very different. Mm-hmm. And Kauai is the oldest of what is considered now out of the chain, and Big Island, where the lava is the newest because it's still creating life. Mm-hmm. And Kauai had 50 inches of rain in 24 hours, which meant the ocean just took part of the road, and that's gone, and beaches are gone, and when you love something, we're in the Wissahickon, we love the Wissahickon. Kauai isn't to me just a destination. It's a being, it's
mm-hmm.
something that I love really deeply, and I was really sad that I couldn't be. People were like, oh, you must be so happy you're not there. I'm like, actually, I feel the opposite. I feel like if you had a good friend that had something happen, you'd want to be close to help. Mm-hmm. So Kauai actually helped get me back to teaching after being a mom, because I thought, well, if I can't put my table up there, I'll put my table up here. And there's a Hawaiian word called kokua. Kokua means to help. And they were doing this whole campaign on Kauai, kokua, Kauai, kokua. Yourself, I added. I'm kind of it really gets me that this happened. So I added kokua yourself, meaning if we help Kauai, we can help each other. So instead of doing this really official Lomi training, kind of like yoga that actually do, mm-hmm. I just taught a part of our practice that you could work on anyone. If you had a partner or a kid at home, or you were a massage worker, and there was a very humble offering as opposed to big promise. Mm-hmm. But the efforts went to Kauai, and we had 10 amazing people come, and we sent $1,000 back to the island, which felt
it's so awesome.
So awesome. And I was thinking about this is the inspiration, and it's be committed to something. Mm-hmm. Because it was my love of Kauai that got me oh, I have to help her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can't just sit here and not be oh, I have to find out and my kid, and I was no, we have to help her. And I have to give a tremendous credit to Corey Sokoloff, my partner and dad of Aaron, because he took over Aaron for the day, and I drove around, and it takes a village. Mm-hmm. And got me back to teaching, and we're going to do another one in the fall. So we're excited. And we're planning a retreat in Kauai for next year.
That's awesome. We'll link all that stuff up. Mm-hmm. And I'll try to put somewhere that if you want to donate and help, you can. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I'll give you links. Yeah, because there's still a lot of help that's needed there. And it's a good spiritual practice to give when you're not getting anything from something. Mm-hmm. That goes really far.
It does. Mm-hmm. And then it comes back
in
so
ways
much
you will never imagine.
Thank you so much for talking with me in the woods. I appreciate it.
Me too. This is really fun.
So if you've been watching, you know. If you want I can't talk. I'm struggling with the words.
Because it's so sunny and peaceful. Go ahead.
It is so sunny and peaceful. So if you can give one person out there a little nugget of advice to help them moving forward in the mm-hmm. direction of their dreams, goals, passions, bliss, what might that be?
I think it's the commitment piece, and I see that what you're doing in 30 Days of Inspiration. When people say, oh, if you want to make something happen, do it. But when you do something to get something, people feel it. When you do something because you love it, so even if it's the smallest thing, you could use social media to take 30 days of photos of, not even professional, but say you're a painter or you're cooking something. I would say pick an amount of time to commit to doing something daily. Because when you commit, you automatically are going to get the resistance. And you have to ride through that resistance and get back up to really get it going. Mm-hmm. So if you're committed, that's what I would say, commit to one thing and keep going.
Keep going. Mm-hmm. And when you want to stop, keep on going. Trust me, because I've been wanting to stop doing what I do for 8 years. I've been doing it for 8 years. And for 8 years, I've been wanting to stop. But I just keep on going.
Yeah, and I think it's important that you say that, because everyone thinks oh, it's so easy for that person. And anyone you think it's so easy for, they might even that day be there's no way I'm still doing this and I'm a failure. Right. It happens all the time.
And it's so tricky with the Instagram world and the Facebook world, because it does look like life is spectacular, and it is. It's great.
It is.
But it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And my bank account is not where a lot of people think it is.
Right, they
You
just
know,
think it falls.
Or that there's like someone like sitting back here throwing dollars at me to
Although
do
if you
this
want to sit
stuff.
back here and throw us dollars,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
at all. I'd come here.
absolutely.
I'd commit to coming here every day, sit on this bench and talk, and just some throw dollars. It is something that I was taught, that it was like when you from my teacher, he was like, when you commit and you get knocked down, get back up. And if you can't get back up, then go find something else to do. Like, that's sort of sometimes how you have to talk to yourself, and you have to, like, it's just life. I don't think that life is easy, but you can put yourself in a place where the knockdown's worth it.
Right. And you know, if you don't fail, you're not going to learn.
Well, that's a guarantee.
So
That's a guarantee.
so keep on going, keep on keeping on, and doing all that stuff. Do you have anything coming up? That
Well, we're starting the mom sessions in July. So if you Instagram me, it's going to be referral only. We're going to have mini sessions for moms with daycare in Port Richmond, which is a big deal. And we're going to do our next Lomi intensive in the fall, and I'll have those dates up soon.
Awesome. I'll connect you all with Kate somewhere. There'll be links. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're the best.